Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chat, channel donations, Venmo, and the Patreon family. We are working. Now, I had to make this video. I want to make this video, and because it's regarding the fight I truly want to see, and that's Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Now, Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, he did an interview with the sun.co.uk, link in the description, and he said some things. I don't think they're favorable. I didn't like it, but I'm going to tell you what he said and give you some of my thoughts. Eddie Hearn says, the deal in Deontay Wilder's head is a 50-50 split, but over my dead body, is that ever happening? He hasn't had a serious fight yet, and he needs to fight someone real before he can start making demands. I want him to fight Dillian Whyte February 3rd at the O2 Arena. That would be an absolute tear-up. AJ would buy a ringside seat for that. So once again, Eddie Hearn keeps pushing this Dillian Whyte agenda for Deontay Wilder. Promoter Lou DiBella responded to it. I agree with what DiBella said. Listen, I like Dillian Whyte. I like all these heavyweight dudes. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. But Eddie Hearn is using, it sounds like he's using Dillian Whyte as a shield. You know what I mean? Appeasing him by putting him in a big fight, or hopefully with the Deontay Wilder, and using him as a shield. Again, I've said this before multiple times. Wilder is a champion. He's been a champion longer than Joshua. Joshua's a champion with the respected Klitschko win. That's his best win on his resume. The time for that fight is now. And it's crazy that Eddie Hearn is making it seem as if Wilder has to go through these additional steps to see Joshua when it would be a unification. So to me, that shows me something. That shows me that there's a level, I just hear from what Team Joshua has been saying, there's a level of concern for Wilder. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I prefer transparency. Just be open and say that's what it is. But what happens in boxing time and time again is they'll actually make it sound like, and the fans do it too. It's not even really just the promoters and fighters. I would say the fans do it more, because the fans, there's no accountability. You can just say whatever on the internet, feel flying and feel fuck you. You know what I mean? And then just let it ride. But what Hearn is putting out there has now caused fans to divert from the issue at hand, which is Joshua Wilder, and now bring up this topic of Dillian Whyte. I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for it. If they make it work and that's the fight they want to build up, cool. But I don't think that a champion has to see somebody that another champion knocked out to prove their worth. You know what I'm saying? And again, Deontay Wilder, you have, see, with me, I always look at the situation. Always. And it's unfair to say he hasn't fought anybody, knowing 3 opponents and 2 of them would have given all the clout and credibility and accolades if Wilder would have beat them. 2 of the 3 in like 16, 18 months failed drug tests, and that's Alexander Povetkin and Luis King Kong Ortiz, and the Polish guy, Andre Wawowski or whatever. You can't blame that on Wilder, right? There was a willingness from Wilder to travel to Russia to fight Povetkin, an Olympic gold medalist. Just like Klitschko was an Olympic gold medalist, so was Povetkin, right? He's a power puncher. He was a mandatory. And because the fight didn't happen, that had nothing to do with Wilder. It had something to do with Povetkin's side. End of. Same thing with this recent Luis Ortiz situation. End of story. So it's not right. You know what I'm saying? You can't, oh, he hasn't fought no one. He was trying to fight 2 somebodies, and they couldn't get it together on their end. So I don't think that Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder, I don't think Dillian Whyte's the key master like that, where to see Joshua, you must go through Dillian White. Because if you look at it, if Dillian White is the man to beat, his last couple fights he's fighting Robert Helenius, who got knocked out not too long ago, right, and is not a big name, and he fought Malcolm Tan on the Crawford and Dongo undercard. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about Wilder needs to fight somebody, it's just, to me, it just sounds like an excuse, to be honest. And bringing up this whole 50-50, you haven't even started negotiating, and you're already pretty much letting it be known that there will be an issue. If Wilder wants 50-50, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like a built-in excuse to me. You know what I mean? If Wilder wants to fight, no way over my dead body is he getting 50-50. Despite what you think of his drawing power, he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, at the end of the day, fans are so fickle, man. I could do this all day. Mayweather was respected. When it came to fight Pacquiao, people cried. I'm talking about 5 years ago when it was initially supposed to happen. And then it didn't happen because of drug tests. But then they came back. Floyd offered him like $40 million, no pay-per-view money. And fans cried, like, no, that's disrespectful to Pacquiao. Now, you could say Pacquiao has a good resume, but the bottom line is they're each other's contemporaries, and it's a big fight. So, you know what I mean? People were like, oh, Pacquiao deserves 50-50, even though Mayweather clearly had bigger events. Because if you look at it, even to this day, the pay-per-view all-time greats list, Mayweather's on the top 5. He owns like 4 of the top 5 spots in terms of live gate, highest pay-per-view homes and viewership, etc. So, you know what I mean? I think it's kind of a disrespect to Wilder, who's been a champion longer, to make it sound like he's the challenger when he's really a champion. And like I said, it's already creating an issue before negotiations. Oh, he don't get 50-50. So now if he's not down with taking 70-30, which you would give to a challenger facing a champion, right? And when you look at the sanctioning bodies when they have situations, that's not right. So if he turns it down, then it's his fault. You know what I mean? And I get it. Joshua is a bigger star, but that's another thing where you have to look at. It's not Wilder's fault that he's American. It's not Joshua's fault that he's from the UK. The UK is a different demographic. You know what I mean? That's like out here in America, regular soccer is not as big. You know what I'm saying? But you go to other places like Mexico or Argentina, they'll die for soccer. You know what I'm saying? They'll collapse stadiums and fill up stadiums. So it's everything is, you have to put things in perspective. And in America, there's a lot of great talent. And just because America is such a melting pot, you have people from all over the world that come here. Sometimes these American champions don't get the proper support. And I think Wilder talked about this. You know what I mean? And you can't hold that against him too. Because if Joshua, I guarantee you, if Joshua was from America, he would deal with some of the same issues that Floyd Mayweather, Wilder, Terrence Crawford, and other Americans have dealt with, trying to get the adoration from the fans, you know what I mean, and the respect. Meanwhile, guys like Golovkin can come from Kazakhstan, Pacquiao can come from the Philippines, and immediately fans embrace that, you know what I mean? And they're technically foreigners to America, meaning they're not from America. So it's just a different ball game. So Joshua, he's very successful, and he is an A-side type or whatever. But a lot of that has to do with the fan base and his demographic. Ricky Hatton had a great fan base. You know what I mean? He arguably had more fans than Mayweather did when they fought each other. But that doesn't say nothing. You know what I mean? Mayweather should have been respected, but for whatever reason, Ricky Hatton might have had more of a presence. So, I mean, salute to the UK for having great fans and loyal fans, but not everywhere is like that, and we clearly see that. America has a lot of issues, kneeling for the flag and racism and tiki torture. You know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff going on that it's not as big in the UK. You know what I mean? We got Donald Trump in office. You know what I mean? Just different things. There's different areas of getting affected by natural disasters. So the UK is a whole different market. It's a whole different demographic. So I so far don't like where this is headed. It looks like a cop-out to me, you know what I mean? Oh, Wilder doesn't deserve 50-50, so if he doesn't want to accept something substantially less, then he just has to either bow down or not get the fight, you know what I mean? And it sounds like Eddie Hearn, he's putting Dillian Whyte out there as kind of like a shield. Because look at it like this. Why would a guy that Anthony Joshua knocked out, who arguably lost to Derek Chisora, arguably, right, depending on who you ask, why would Wilder fighting him in the UK in February, and let's say he beats him, now all of a sudden he's ready for 50-50? Like, really? So the guy that Joshua already knocked out, that makes him worth 50-50? I don't see the logic in that, and I don't think there is a logic. I think Eddie Hearn just knows Dillian Whyte's tough, thinks maybe he can upset Deontay Wilder and possibly thwart the Wilder-Joshua plans. But from what I've been hearing from Team Joshua, it seems like they realize the threat level with Wilder is real. I mean, because Joshua even referenced on that Johnny Nelson interview, he even referenced something to the effect of, he was a pro when I just started boxing, because he started boxing late. But at the end of the day, nobody cares about that, because if you're in there, people are there to batter your brains. Like there's been times where, like, let's say Bernard Hopkins, right? Bernard Hopkins could be 40 something, 45, and Kelly Pavlik's 26, 27. Kelly Pavlik's trying to knock out the older. He's not like, oh, respect your elder. You know what I mean? It's boxing. If he could, he would try to go in there and knock out Bernard Hopkins. Same thing with Hopkins. He's not going to be like, oh, this kid is young and I don't want to damn it. He's trying to embarrass him, which B-Hop did do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the gloves are off when you become a champion. Like, it doesn't matter when you started, if you had a amateur pedigree, if you didn't, you know what I mean? You're there to fight. Canelo, he started pro at 15. He had to learn on the job. But Golovkin has a ton of amateur experience. Golovkin's trying to knock his head off. He don't care when he started or if he didn't have an amateur experience. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter when Joshua started. There's a lot of people who were late bloomers. Sergio Martinez was a late bloomer. But once you get to that elite level and or become a champion, nobody's going to care when you started, how much experience you have. They're just trying to win. And that's my honest opinion. I hope they get it squared out for 2018 where they can fight. I respect both fighters, Joshua and Wilder, but right now it's not looking good. And it looks like Eddie Hearn has his own plans. And like I said, the conversation is switching to this Dillian Whyte, as if Dillian Whyte holds all the keys to Joshua. And then on top of that, Joshua said he wanted to rematch Dillian Whyte when Kubrat Pulev pulled out or whatever, and then he's fighting Carlos Takam. So it's just like, if Dillian Whyte is this guy that you have to see, then why don't you make that Joshua Whyte rematch when Pulev pulled out? You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to me. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.